Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Apex Investor. I'm going to do this very simply, no pomp and circumstance, just keep it simple and present to you what looks like 13 stocks, if I'm not mistaken. 13 that are really strong plays, and I'm calling this video the drop ship or the pod ship, whatever you want to call it, where the Enterprise is exploding, or the Death Star, whatever you want to call your big main ship, Millennium Falcon, and you take the pod ship to escape because you have to survive. And so I've been somewhat paralyzed because of Hollow and that really bad play, and so I have to find a way out, and these are the stocks that'll probably do it for me. But the problem is I only have like $100 left right now, so I'm gonna invest every cent I have remaining, $100 into the stock market, and try to salvage something and make something out of not nothing, but out of something really small, which is $100, and try to snowball that into the future. So here we go. Dollarama. This is a no-brainer play. This is only going to go up, most likely to 200, 300, 400, 500. This is the Walmart of Canada, basically. People are going here for groceries. Yes, they're going to a dollar store to buy their groceries. That's how bad things have gotten in Canada. So that is a no-brainer play. You can buy that at any price. It'll go up. I guarantee you by next year it's going to go up, going to be higher than 148, probably be 200 plus. Next stocks, I'm going to close that. It's officially closing. Let me just make sure my sound is working, because sometimes I'll record and there's no sound. Okay, there is sound. Next is SoundHound, which is an interesting play because number one, SoundHound is like Shazam, but not as popular. It's like number two. They're the Sega to the Nintendo of Shazam. And they're actually on a downturn. If you look at this chart, $4. Okay, you know what? I can't recommend this one. It's not a no-brainer play, but I would wait for this to drop to $4 and then buy at 6, 7. So no, I'm not going to recommend that because of the timing. Timing is bad for that. So far we have Dollarama as our best pick. LUMN, $10 is the high. I see this going much higher than $10. It's looking like a very strong stock. They've got a great relationship with Microsoft, I believe. The problem is I would wait for this to go $5 and below. So I'm going to recommend this at $5 and below as the entry point, and then sell that when it breaks 10, because I think it's going to break 10. And already did break 10. Next is Inovio, probably the most stable pharmaceutical stock, and they are at support. So this is a good buy, possibly a good buy right now, depending on what happens with all the other big pharma stocks, such as Moderna and Pfizer, etc. So that I think this is going down because of those other stocks. So I can't strongly recommend this. I could cautiously recommend it. I do see it going back up again, but because of what's going on with the basically RFK and what he's going to do to shake up the industry, pharmaceutical industry and health and everything, this might be a very risky play. So we really don't know what's going to happen. It might drop to below $4, $3, who knows. So I can't strongly recommend it. I can cautiously recommend that based on its chart history. and that is support. Historically, $4 has been support for Inovio, but the future is a little uncertain in regards to pharmaceuticals. NVIDIA is a no-brainer play. It's only going higher and higher, so you can buy this and just expect it to go to 200 by next year. So far we've got Dollarama and NVIDIA as our no-brainer plays. And I think that's what this video is about. What are the best no-brainer plays, juggernauts in the stock market, close to guarantees, not saying they're guarantees, but closest stocks to guaranteed victory, but guaranteed profits. So NVIDIA is up there, yeah, for sure. Definitely in the top 3. Costco's next. That's another guaranteed victory. So that's number 4. I'm going to look at the price. I know it's only going to go higher. They're pretty much monopolizing groceries. McKesson's another unstoppable stock. I wouldn't say it's a juggernaut, but it's been very stable, very... it is a juggernaut of healthcare. Just higher highs and higher lows as well. It's just really expensive, that's the problem. But it did go dip to $450, $430 recently, but that's an anomaly. So I can recommend that if you can afford it. So that, I won't say it's a no-brainer play, but it's close to a no-brainer play. So we'll call that NBP, no-brainer play. Netflix, $841. This seems like a no-brainer play, but I don't know, Hollywood is somewhat, I don't know. I think this has room to drop, but we will see. Might be due for a stock split as well. So you know what? I'm going to call this a no-brainer play as well. No, Netflix is not going to disappear tomorrow. It's going to be here for quite a while. That's the future of the entertainment industry. So if you're counting how many no-brainer plays so far, I think it's number 5 or 6. Tesla. The next 4 years for Tesla is going to be very good. So this might be a no-brainer play just for the next 4 years. We might see this go to 400. Who knows? Just have to look at the chart and see. Yeah, I think it's going to 400. Yep, I do believe so. Okay. Spotify. We've got 4 more to look at. Spotify is on the cusp of the future. They are the future. A lot of people have migrated away from radio, TV, cable, etc., and moved to YouTube, and Spotify is part of that revolution, especially when you look at things like podcasts and Joe Rogan, etc., and the way people listen to their music now. Spotify has their playlists, and it's been helping people to discover new music and so on. So I'm not going to say it's a no-brainer play, but just look at this chart. It's just... Yes, it did drop from 360 and then went all the way down to 80, 90. So no, it's not a no-brainer play, but the last 2 years have looked no-brainer-ish. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I would wait for a drop personally, based off this historical chart. Next no-brainer play is Walmart. It's been stuck at 50 for the longest time, 40 to 50, from the years of, let's just see, from 20, really it was stagnant for a long time, from 2015 to 2022. So for 7 years, it's just been really stable between 20 to 50 bucks. Only recently in the last year, last couple months really, it went from 40, 50 to now 80. Like this isn't the highest I've ever seen it. in my life. It's never been this high. And that's because Walmart is offering people reasonable prices for their groceries and everything, and they work their employees to death. So they're like the new Costco in a way, even though Costco came after Walmart. But in terms of the stock market, because Costco is just a monster, and maybe this is setting up to hit triple digits, who knows? That's the way things are trending anyway with Walmart. So this is a no-brainer play as well. I wouldn't say it's a no-brainer play in terms of the entry point, because it could drop. It could go right back down to 40, who knows? But that is some explosive growth in the last couple months. Here's an actual no-brainer play. It's McDonald's. They are not going to disappear anytime soon. They're going to remain for decades to come. And so you can just buy this at any price. It's going to go up. I have zero doubts in my mind McDonald's is going to be going on strong despite the high prices of McDonald's. It's just an American institution and will be ever present as long as America exists, pretty much. So yeah, it's a good place, just a little expensive for me. And our last stock is probably the most intriguing stock of this whole video. Let me just see how I'm doing for time. All right, that's not too bad, 11 minutes. Okay, so the reason why I say so is because CROX, if you look at this all-time chart, was at 74 bucks, and then it dipped all the way to negative 56 cents. Does that make sense? No. It dipped to $1. Wow, that is quite a drop. And then it went up to pretty much stayed around 20 bucks and below for a long time. Then the last 5 years, 40 bucks. Let's look at the last 5 years, 40. It dipped down to 14, and then it spiked all the way up. Let's look at the pandemic though. Yeah, can you imagine buying this at 14 bucks and then it goes all the way up to 171 in 2021, but then it dunks, it really dives to 45, going all the way up to 140 again. So it breaks triple digits once again. So resistance is really 150. We can see that it's been confirmed. Touching the 150 or 145 anyway, 145 is true. Not really true, but the most, the closest thing to a guaranteed resistance. We've got confirmation like at least 3 times here for 140. So this is going to 140. I have zero doubt in my mind. The only problem is this headed down to 80? Or is it headed down to 70? Or is it headed all the way down to 50? It's hard to say. But is it headed to 140? Yeah, it will, but it might take a lot of time. It might take a year. It might take a year or two. So you have to be patient. It's important to be patient. So if you see this moving down to, if this breaks 90 support, then it's going down to 80, possibly 70, maybe 60, maybe 50, but I don't think it drops below 50. I probably get this between 70 to 90. I think it's better to wait for 70 to 80, 70 to 90. You know what, just, yeah, maybe 80 to 90. But we'll see. 140 is looking very, very enticing. If you can get this at 70, 80, then you double your money once it hits 140 again. But it's going to be quite a wait. So this chart looks good, but it only looks good because this is 5 years. But if we look at the last year, you see a bit of a struggle. Yeah, you do see the struggle. Although it is trading pretty well. I think it's going to 100 very easily, 100, 120. So that is CROX is a really good stock and a good company too. Very well-known brand, iconic footwear. I mean, you think of Nike, you think of CROX, you think of Adidas, iconic footwear brands, and they're up there. So I would wait and see, will this drop further down, because there's a lot of money to be made if it drops lower. But if it goes right back up, then yeah, that ship is sort of sailed. So I kind of hope it stays below 100 and drops further down to maybe even 80, 70. And that's probably the best entry point, 50 to 70. Yeah, I would be more patient with this one. All right, so that's all for this video. I felt really bad about Hollow, and let's just look at that in closing, because it's a big waiting game and it's a pump and dump and it's a Chinese stock. There's so many red flags, and I just fell for that, and so I have to adjust and adapt and not give up in terms of trading and so just trying to move ahead and wait for if this spikes, when this spikes, who knows? God knows when this will happen. It just seems everything is so delayed with this, because we're trying to predict the next spike. It was happening every 6 months, like clockwork, but then look what happened here in August. It didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. So I mean, did it happen? Did it happen? We have to ask that question in August. $16. How high did it go? No, it didn't happen. It kind of happened prematurely from 40, and then we see a little bit of a spike here on August 22. Was that the spike? No, wouldn't say so, but if it is, that's a sad spike. Unless you bought at 5 and then you sold at 13. Maybe it's a mini spike, I don't know. But it's nothing to be cheering about. So here we are. I mean, personally, I'm just going to wait for myself to be able to kind of break even almost, if I could. If this could go to at least $7, maybe 7, 8. Even, I mean, 5 is looking kind of enticing right now, where we are at $2. Man, I just can't wait for this to be over, but who knows what the future has in store. But that's why I'm doing this video, because Hollow has paralyzed me financially, paralyzed me in the stock market world. So I have to look at the other options, looking at it from a survival point of view. And that's all for this video. I hope it's been helpful for you to consider these other options and these very intriguing stocks, no-brainers, juggernauts, nearest things to, or closest things to a guarantee. And that's it. We'll check in with you when I feel like making another video, because right now it's not looking so good. So I hope to be able to invest some money this week, or in the next month, in the next 6 months, next year, and just move forward, because it's all about never giving up and moving forward. Okay, thank you, and God bless you all, and God bless your investments.